Our solar system is made up of the Sun and 8 planets if we exclude Pluto. The planets get so much of attention that it is easy to overlook the fact that there are a lot of other interesting things in our solar system, like moons, and lot of them are just as interesting as the planets they orbit. Number 8. Ganymede. At first glance, Ganymede looks a lot like Earth's moon, but there is one huge difference in the size. Ganymede is the largest moon of Jupiter and indeed the entire solar system. It is so big that it has its own magnetic field, something that no other moon does. In fact, its size is 8% larger than Mercury and 3/4 of the size of Mars. If Ganymede were orbiting the Sun rather than Jupiter, it would be considered a planet, so it is essentially a planet orbiting another planet. Number 7. Hyperion. This odd looking moon of Saturn bears a strong resemblance to a used bath sponge, but that's because it is made up of porous water ice. Hyperion is about as dense as an ice cube. The strangest thing about Hyperion is the way that it moves instead of rotating about a set axis in a certain amount of time. It tumbles around as it orbits Saturn with no set time of day. This leads scientists to believe it is the remnant of a larger impact with a rough surface and haphazard motion. Hyperion is a rough and tumble world to live in. Number 6. Miranda. Known as the ugliest moon in the solar system, Miranda orbits Uranus. Miranda was first clicked by the Voyager 2. The pictures from Miranda was quite fascinating. At first glance, Miranda showed some varied landscapes. Its sweeping patches of ridges and valleys called corona can be found anywhere else in our universe. It has enormous canyons, some 12 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. If you dropped something from the highest cliff of Miranda, it would take 10 minutes to reach the ground below. The feature of Miranda changed in the past due to large collisions from meteors. We may never really know what really Miranda contains. Number 5. Io. While many of the moons of the solar system are notable of having liquid water oceans locked under ice, or for that matter liquid hydrocarbons on the surface, there is another body in the solar system other than Earth that has liquid lava on its surface. Its wildly volcanic Io is the reason this moon is so volcanically active. Because of its proximity to Jupiter, the little world is so close that Jupiter's gravity flexes it, causing Io to be very hot. Radiation from Jupiter makes the environment harsh. It is thought that it once had as much as water as any of the other moons of Jupiter. It once had a liquid phase before it all disappeared, but it is not completely gone. It could still be present below the surface. Perhaps it's still hard to believe Io once had life existing. Number 4. Europa. Europa craters are so hard you could almost count all, and instead of being dominated by meteorite impacts, Europa is covered by a series of many long narrow dark streets. Close-up images show these to be areas where the moon's crust is shifted with a jagged surface that has many things in common with Earth's frozen Arctic Ocean. NASA and other space agencies around the world have desired to send missions to Europa. Studying it up close, literally digging deeper, may bring to light some exciting discoveries. Number 3. Dactile. At only a mile wide, Dactile is the smallest moon in the solar system. Dactile is one of the most peculiar moons in the solar system because rather than orbiting a planet, it orbits an asteroid. Dactile has answered a lot of questions about asteroids that were previously unknown. For example, it was possible to determine the mass and composition of Ida by studying Dactyle's orbit. Before Dactyle's discovery, astronomers thought that asteroids were just too small to have moons. Number 2. Epimetheus and Janus. Epimetheus and Janus are two moons of Saturn, and they share almost the same orbit, which is probably the result of them being the same moon a long time ago. But in every 4 years, they switch places in a near collision. The closest the moons come to one another is 6,200 miles, which may seem like a lot, but space is really big. Number 1. Titan. Titan is by far the strangest moon in the solar system. It is the only one with a dense atmosphere, and what lies beneath is thick clouds, which was a mystery for a very long time. Remarkably, Titan atmosphere is nitrogen based, like Earth's, but contains other gases such as methane. If the methane density is thick enough, it might rain liquid methane on Titan. The existence of large bright regions on its surface imply that there are liquid seas on Titan's surface. Everything necessary for human life is present there, like liquid water beneath the surface, gravity comparable to our own moon, and abundant fuel and fertilizers. Titan proves to be the best place for colonizing. Those are the 8 most amazing moons in the solar system. 180 some moons are known to exist in the solar system. Only about 40 have been examined in detail. So there are bound to be a few more interesting bodies around. So sit back and relax and keep watching our videos. Thank you, and please do subscribe to our channel.